Okay, y'all, this story is about how I met Big Thomas and found out that he was a booty bandit. So I was getting transferred up north. And normally when you doing a transfer, when it's like 30 or 40 guys on a bus, you don't do no stops, right? It's just a one-way ticket. It's straight go, right? But we end up maybe 2 hours in the drive up north, end up going to the small town with this big prison called Milan, something like that, this federal prison. So there was 3 guys that got on the bus, 2 white guys and this big old black bald head, ugly mother freaker with gold teeth, right? Now, there was only 3 spots left on this bus, and the 2 white guys already got their seats, right? So I'm like, okay, so this dude about to sit next to me. So he make his way back there. He sit down. So he look at me. He like, what up? I'm like, what's up, man? He was like, man, I'm just ready to finish this bid, bro. I'm just ready to finish this bid. I was like, yeah, who you telling? Right? So the bus started going. So I'm like, I said, so what they call you, man? What's your name? He was like, man, they call me Thomas. I said, Thomas? He was like, yeah, but, you can call me T or whatever. I said, oh, okay. I'm like, man, where you from, man? You got like this West Coast demeanor about you. He was like, oh, yeah, man, I'm a Cedar Block Pyru. Now, when he said that, now, keep in mind, y'all, Donta ain't no gang member. I don't know nothing about gangs. The only thing I know about, but not really, it's just because I heard of these things is Crips, Bloods, Gangster Disciples, GDs, BDs, GDKs, what else? Pyrus, Aryan Brotherhood, the Dirty White Boys, like that. So, but I don't really know about these, and of course the Bloods, but I don't really know nothing about these gangs. So when he said Cedar Block Pyru, I'm like, oh, okay, this sounds like a nice name or whatever. Cool, okay. So he was like, you bang? I was like, hell no, I don't bang. He was like, oh, okay, cool. He was like, shit, you think it's gonna be some Crips that's gonna be up here where we going? I said, I don't know, maybe. He was like, oh, okay. So he got to telling me like, yeah, man, yeah, I done smashed a couple cats, man. That's why they sending me up north. I done beat the brakes off this dude. I done knocked this dude brains out of his ears. I said, what? He was like, yeah, this motherfucker owed me some money, and he kept playing with my money, man. So I beat this dude brains out of his ears. I said, hold up. So you saying, he said, yeah, look, I grabbed the dude by his throat, punched him out, started punching his head, and I punched some of his brain out of his ear. I said, dang. It was like, shoot, man, when dudes play with my money, but man, enough of that, man. Like, what's up with you? What you got going on? I said, man, I caught a couple bodies. I stabbed the guard, and you know how that go. He said, what? I said, yeah, man, this guard, he kept pressing me. He kept shaking down my cell, and I told him, like, yo, if you ain't got no just cause to keep shaking the cell down, I'm going to get at you. And he ended up doing it again, and I ended up stabbing him in the back of his head, left the knife in his head and all that. He like, what? I said, hey, man, listen, man, hey, but enough for me, man. What's happening? It was like, I ain't, and let's put a pause right there, because I get it. I already know what some of y'all are going to be thinking in the comment section. Oh, Donta, that's cap. You ain't stabbed no guard in the back of his head. You ain't leave the handle sticking out the back of his dome piece. Ain't no way you did that, Donta. Man, check this out, y'all. They didn't call me the blade pusher for nothing. They didn't call, I wasn't toting that sword of justice for nothing. Y'all got to understand that, okay? And I know a lot of y'all ain't never been locked up, so it sounds unbelievable, like, dang. And for you jail dudes out there that be hating on me, talking about, Donta, that ain't gonna happen. You couldn't have did that. Let me tell all you jail dudes and all you prison dudes that be clout chasing after my name, talking about this cap. If me and you I'm talking to you dudes that's saying I'm cap. If me and you was on the same yard or the same block or the same cell, I guarantee you, either you was going to get with my program or there was a huge chance that you was going to lose your life in that prison. And I'm just keeping it real with you. Now, for those that's rocking with me, man, y'all hit that like button, man. When y'all hit the like button, that's letting the haters know that y'all rocking with y'all big partner Donta, right? So y'all hit that like button, all right? Let's get back to it. Matter of fact, man, before we get to the story, y'all, I need for y'all to do me a favor, right? Just like we do in a prison roll call when you first get there. Man, where y'all from? Let me know where y'all from, all right? Just tell me where y'all was born at, right? Detroit, 313, St. John's Hospital, 1988. That's me, y'all. So y'all let me know where y'all was born, all right? Put it in the comment section and hit that like button. Let's get back to it. So anyway, we riding. So I was like, man, what was them LA streets like? He was like, man, I was robbing cats. Man, I was like a pimp. Man, I had all type of brawls. I said, what? He was like, man, I was, you know, it's this place called Figueroa. And I had about 15 gals out there. You know what I'm talking about? I said, look, man, let me ask you a question. Like, how do you turn out a girl? Like, how do you get a woman to do that? He was like, you really want to know? I said, yeah. He was like, well, you know, most of the time I would like go to like the Greyhound station and I just see like young chicks there alone, like runaways. And, you know, I holler at them and I, you know, put them up at a hotel and then I put them on the track. So in my head, when he said young girls, I'm like, how young? He was like, shoot, it really didn't matter. I mean, shoot, you know, money is money. It is what he actually said something else, but I wouldn't dare say that on YouTube, right? They'll probably take this video down so quick, but that's what he said. So when he said that, I automatically thought like, oh, he one of them. He one of these dudes, right? Now I'm curious what he get locked up for. So he telling me, you know, to break down how, you know, he'd catch some young girls at the bus station and he'd pimp them out and all this and that. Or he'd get in a relationship with some chicks and he'd just introduce them to the game and some went for it and some didn't. So now, like I said, I'm curious, like what he get, like I said, so what you get locked up for? He was like, one of his girls end up running to Vegas or whatever. You know, Vegas right there next to Cali or whatever. Well, it ain't right there, but it's a couple hours away. So he said one of his girls ended up running to Vegas and, you know, he went there to get her from her parents and the parents wasn't going for it and he wasn't going for it. So he said he bodied the mama and bodied the daddy. And well, now he in here with life without parole. So in my head, I'm thinking like, okay. So this dude, and I'm pretty sure he was, well, let me choose my words carefully. He was fornicating with a minor. Because you cannot tell me if you a pimp and you getting these young girls from bus stations and stuff like that, I know you messing around. So I'll say, okay, so this dude is a chomo, but he just ain't been convicted for it. You know, because if you let a dude talk and just keep talking, eventually he tell on himself. Just think about it. Because I'm pretty sure, because when he said young girl, he could have said, you know, 18, young adult. If I catch some young adult girls. No, he said some young girls, right? So I made a mental note like, okay, yeah, stay away from this dude. If this dude end up on my block, if this dude ain't coming to my cell, I already made a mental note. Dude ain't coming in my cell. I don't want to have nothing to do with him. This dude is a creep. But let me give y'all a side quest. You know, y'all be talking about Donta, you don't never stay on the story. But I gotta give y'all this right here. I was just thinking, now, people are attracted to what they are attracted to, right? Y'all just pay attention. I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere with this. Me per se, when I was growing up, I didn't like young girls. When I was 10 years old, when I started liking girls or whatever, I liked it grown women, like women in their 20s, right? So when I was like 16, I liked the girls like in their 30s. You see what I'm saying? That is just what I was attracted to, right? So when you hear guys talking about, and maybe this was just a cultural thing, because they said that Foxy was 15 when Jay-Z was messing with her when he was like 26 or 27, and when they was messing with Aaliyah was still a teenager, and you got R. Kelly married Aaliyah when she was 14, 15, and he was well off in his 30s. And me growing up, I was in middle school, 8th grade. I would see 7th grade girls and 8th grade girls getting in the cars with drug dealers that I knew from my neighborhood and other neighborhoods. And this wasn't their little sister or their cousin. This was their little girlfriends, right? So when you really think about it, all these dudes was pedos. All these dudes was chomos, right? So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because what happened next when we got off the prison bus and Big Thomas got exposed, right? So let me keep the story going. Okay. So anyway, but do y'all agree with me with that? Have y'all noticed that growing up, you got grown men dating teenagers and it seemed like it was normal? Yeah, but it wasn't normal. But y'all know what I mean. But anyway, let's keep it going. So I'm not really talking to Big Thomas like that no more, because it done set in my brain like, okay, this dude is a chomo. He just ain't get caught for it. But everything he done told me, if he would have got caught for it, he'd have had that jacket. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I ain't got too many words for this dude, right? So we get off the bus. We go into intake. Y'all know that process. We all come in, strip naked. They throw this powder on you, and this powder is supposed to like get rid of lice and crabs and stuff like that, right? So they throw this powder on you when y'all all naked, right? They call it B's to D's. And I know. That sound, I gotta say pause, double pause, triple pause. But that's what they call it. B's to D's, butts to cocks, basically, right? And that's just what it was. And for some of you freakos out there just wondering, no, Donta Sword of Justice was not next to another man. I have both of my hands in front of me. Just a humiliation ritual that happens when you go to prison, right? So y'all gotta butts to cocks all the way to the shower. Get this powder rinsed off for you with this cold water, right? This intake, y'all. You get your clothes to dry off. The captain or the warden come through, or the what they call that, the watch commander come through, and they give you the spiel, what they expect, what they don't expect, what you gonna do, who house this is, and that's giving you the rundown. And then you got the counselors come in and tell you about PREA and the Great Elimination Act and all that, and there's all, give you a little prison handbook and all that, and then they take you to your cell, right? You go to a single cell, and it's called quarantine, right? And you can be in there for about a month or even 2 months. Now, right here, just an educational piece for people out there that might got loved ones getting locked up, and you wonder like, dang, well, they sent my baby off to prison. Oh, I haven't heard nothing about him, and they ain't giving me no answer, because 9 times out of 10, he's in quarantine and he can't talk, can't send no letters, no nothing, right? That's just what it is. So anyway, we're in quarantine, right? And we just doing the day to day. So we gonna fast forward, because quarantine is boring. Ain't nothing really, spectacular anything happened in quarantine. So now we on a block, right? So naturally, now, like I said, y'all, I'm not no gang member. I'm not affiliated with no type of groups or anything like that. But naturally, for some reason, I gravitate to the Crips for whatever reason. When I was out there in the streets, the first gang members I ever met was Crips. Two twin brothers, Rodney and Ronell. Right? They was Crips. I just got along, Tar T was a Crip. I met him in Atlanta. Yeah, Homicide was a GD. But yeah, I just got along with Crips for whatever reason. So anyway, so I end up, going over there where the Lokes at or whatever, talking to them, asking like, yo, what's going on here and this and that. They giving me the rundown of who's who, what is what, and this and that, right? So I got my cell, right? I got my cell assignment. I'm in there. I'm doing my thing, right? So I'm in this cell with this white dude named Herman, right? He was this Muslim, a white Muslim. His name was Herman. So, when I came in there, he was sitting on a bottom bunk, right? So I just instantly went to prison mode. And when I stepped in, I said, get your shit and get at the top. And he looked at me, and keep in mind, y'all, I don't know if y'all know what I look like. If y'all see me in other videos, y'all know I'm a big guy. I'm 6'2". At that time, maybe about 260, the real jacked up like an Olympian god, right? So he looked at me, and Herman, he was a frail little dude. He was maybe about 150, 140, maybe, little skinny white dude, Muslim guy, whatever. So he just got up and rolled it up and put all the stuff at the top. So I said, when is lunch or whatever? He was like, oh, we just had lunch or whatever. And I was like, when is Stowe? He's like, oh, it's every Friday at 5 o'clock. Our dorm get called at 5 o'clock. I said, okay. Now, and I know some of y'all are like, well, Donta, why you disrespect a man like that? Well, why you come in there and tell him get his shit and get at the top? Let me tell y'all something. In prison, I have to say this. It's predators and prey. And that's what it is. Predators and prey, and I was a predator, and that's how I had to carry it. And in my mind, which is not right, but it is what it is. This is prison. This is not the normal world. Prison ain't nothing normal about it. In my mind, if you are white, and listen again, y'all, because I don't want nobody complaining in the comment section. In my mind, if you are white and you are not a part of an organization or gang in prison, in my mind, until proven otherwise, you are a punk. You are a homosexual. And that's just what it is. So you're going to have to prove to me, and not just by telling me, well, I'm not like that. No, you're going to have to show me that you're not. Otherwise, it is what it is. I'm a roll out the full court press on you, right? I'm gonna give you a list of what I need every week, since we go to the store every Friday, and I ain't got my setup in here yet. Every Friday, I need 10 packs of noodles to sustain me. I need at least about 20 sodas. I wasn't big on sweets, but man, it is what it is. And that's it, right? Now, I know y'all waiting. Y'all like, God dang, Donta, we done forgot what the story was all about. I mean, yeah, what you talking to us is good, but where's the story at? It's here. It's here, y'all. And I'm not going to do y'all dirty. I'm not going to do y'all dirty and say, well, part 2 is on the Patreon, okay? Because guess what, y'all? Part 2 is on the Patreon. And for those that be like, well, Donta, we go to the Patreon and we never see part 2. Well, guess what? I'm going to have part 2 pinned at the top of the comment section on the Patreon, so y'all can go straight over there, click that link, and you'll go right to it, all right? Now, part 2, I'm going to tell y'all exactly what it's going to be about. It's going to be about my white Muslim cellmate end up getting himself taken by Big Thomas in the prison shower. So y'all make sure y'all click that link that's pinned at the top of the comment section, okay, for the Patreon. But I'll tell y'all this though. I'm gonna drop that video on the Patreon. So when this come out and this video go off, just click the link and y'all can watch it on the Patreon. But I will drop part 2 on this channel. Okay? So be on the lookout for it. With that, y'all. Matter of fact, part 2 is dropping on this channel Friday at 9:30 a.m. With that, y'all, I'm out.